So there are a few things that you're going to want to know before moving to South Jersey. In fact, today we're going to talk about the things that you should know when buying new homes. So that is anywhere from new construction to custom built. Let's do it. Hi, I'm Kat Quarterman, team leader of the Quarterman Group, powered by Compass. I absolutely love what I do, and if you've come to this channel, then you know this channel is all about moving to South Jersey. This channel is going to be where you're going to learn what it's like to eat, sleep, live, drink, play in South Jersey. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you're notified each and every time a new video is uploaded. In fact, we get so many calls, so many messages, text messages, emails from people who are looking to move to South Jersey. We absolutely love it. So if you're looking to make the move, make sure that you hit us up however you'd like. Email, text, voicemail, call, whichever way works best for you, weekends, nights, days, and we'll be sure to help you make your move to South Jersey. So let's talk about it. You have new home sales. There's new construction and there are custom built homes. What's the difference and what do you need to know? So first up is does the price include any upgrades? Lately, I found that every new construction builder has something different that's included in the base price. It's almost like going out to buy a car where you think, hey, is leather standard in this car? Is navigation standard in this car? And you have to ask about these things because sometimes appliances are not included, washer and dryer is not included. Sometimes that nice wainscoting and crown molding that you saw in the model home is not included. And I think it's even more important to ask when you're talking with a custom build, because what I noticed is that with the custom builders, they are building a custom home to suit you, everything that you said you wanted in it. So little things that you may want, whether it's an exterior entrance to the basement, may cost you a little bit more money. So it's important to ask. The other point is that you are not obligated to use their lender. And I know a lot of times when you walk into new construction, home sales, home sites, they have a lender that they prefer to use. And they will encourage you to use that lender. Sometimes they may offer you different incentives, for using their lender, but you're not obligated to use them. So you can still continue to shop around, but make sure that you talk with your lender about new construction. Because remember, those homes are not going to be built in 60 days, which is the typical time frame it may take to close on a home that's already built. It may take you more like 6 months, 9 months, and you need an extended rate lock program for that. So make sure you talk with your lender about new construction, loans for that where you have that extended rate lock. The other misconception is that you can't have a buyer's agent, that you need to walk into that new construction site and use the agent that's there. And that agent represents the seller. So you can still have your own buyer's agent. That doesn't mean that you need to stop working with me. I can accompany you to your first visit to the new construction site and help you, ask the necessary questions of the sales rep that's there. So that way you understand everything about what you're building, what you're getting into, the contract that you're signing. And I'm not representing you as an attorney, based on legal terms. You can definitely still have an attorney as well, but at least you have your own agent, someone that's there, that's giving you that fiduciary duty and is looking out for your best interest. So we talked about asking what the standard price includes. Make sure you always ask what's not included. So whether that is some appliances, washer, dryer, sometimes it's an extended patio, out in the backyard. You do want to ask what's not included, so that way you know that once this home is built, what are any extras that you still need to invest in and buy. The next big item that I found is that because you're building new construction, you may think that you don't need to get the home inspected. That is actually a big misconception because you can. And there are inspectors out there that can inspect the property during its construction phase. So that means you can have an inspector come out and examine once the foundation is done, once the framing is up, and then the regular inspection as you would do after it's built. A lot of buyers think that, hey, I just do the home inspection after the home is already built. That's when I bring my inspector in. A lot of people feel like, why would I need to? It's all new. And you should, right? Because every builder is giving you, a new build warranty, and they give that to you for a reason. So you should still have an inspection. I know in my home, even though we were the second owners in our home, we found out when we were redoing our powder room that the vent was actually being crushed by the fan that was put up in the ceiling. Now, of course, that's something that you really wouldn't know, but maybe during that construction phase, someone could say like, hey, maybe the inspector would tell you like, hey, I don't know if that's enough, clearance now when you put a fan, or this should be up a little bit, whatever it is. But that's the reason why you have a home inspector. And there's not many of them that will inspect during the entire process, but you can definitely find one that will. The next item is that some upgrades can be done later. So I'm not saying, hey, if I want granite countertop, I should say, no, put in laminate right now and I'll do granite later on. Of course, that's a big item that you want to do at the start of it. But what I'm talking about is like a finished basement. So of course, it may cost a little bit more if the builder is finishing your basement at the moment, and same thing with the custom build. But maybe you could talk to them about like, hey, I want to have a finished basement at some point. I'm not going to do it now. So make sure when you're running the plumbing, and other utility lines, that they put them in locations where you'll be easily able to tap into it to build that new bathroom down in the basement. So things like that. Basement is not something that you need to do like right at that moment. I mentioned earlier an exterior entrance to the basement. That's something that you definitely want to do at that time and not later. Things like adding a sunroom, things like that, maybe that can wait, because you want to make sure that you are within your budget at the moment. And big thing is with custom build, when you're sitting down with that designer and that architect, they're building your dream, right? They're putting down exactly everything that you ever wanted. But it's the builder that's going to put on the price tag to everything. So you do want to make sure that you sit down, you have that discussion with that custom builder, just so that way you can get an idea of what all of this may cost you. Usually they have, like a per square footage, just like with a regular home resale, it's per square footage. They usually have a number regarding that. And then of course, little extras that you may want to do, especially if it's finished space, will add on, to the price. And you just want to make sure that you are in line with which custom build is a little hard to stay in line with what the area comps are saying, because the house is custom, so you just have to keep that in mind, that there are some things that you may be doing to a custom home that are not in the other homes, in that area, and just be conscious of it. You want to make sure that you are aware of the builder warranties and also the timelines. So I wrote something down, so you're going to see me looking at my notes because I couldn't memorize that part. But you want to make sure that you understand that the limited 10-year warranty coverage is against the defects of materials, workmanship, and systems in a new home. So the builder is the warrantor of the home. In New Jersey, the warranty protects your home from the time of sale, which is closing, from defects in materials and workmanship for 1 year, 2 years against defects in the design and installation of the heating, AC, plumbing, electrical systems, and 10 years against major structural defects. So that was from the New Jersey government site, newjersey.gov site. So you just want to make sure that you understand that, because a lot of times with new home builds, people think like, oh my gosh, like everything is warranted. If something isn't working or it breaks, I can reach out at any point. I know in my development, we had two builders. So I live in a development where it was, I think, Quaker Homes built my home, but then Canadian came in and took over. So there were a lot of things that Quaker did that may not have been to its best. And I remember when that coverage was about to be up, because different homeowners complained about things, the association did have people come out and check. So mine had to do with the stucco, and they did come out and they checked it and they kind of redid some areas. So you just want to make sure that you know what your warranties are. You will get all of that information, but you want to check ahead of time. So that way, if something's not working right or going wrong or doesn't seem right, how long do you have until you can reach out to the builder for correction? So when you're looking at new construction, sometimes the site is there, but there isn't a model home. And I don't want to say for most people, but some people need to kind of walk through a house. They need to see it. They need to be able to walk through this layout. They can't just look at a drawing or a layout of the house and actually visualize the size of the room. They need to walk through something, walk through a model. So you can ask the builder, did they build this model in another community maybe that you can go and see? It's the same layout of the home, same model, same everything that they may build in different communities, throughout the state. So you might need to drive, maybe an hour to the next community, but at least you'll be able to walk through it. When it comes to custom build, you do want to ask if, what other homes have they built? Sometimes they may have drawings from another home that they built that they can customize for you. Or sometimes they're just drawing a whole new, layout, a whole new home for you. But you can ask and most definitely ask for references, so that way you can go to the custom builder, neighborhoods where they did build the homes and kind of check them out. I have heard of people knocking on doors and asking the people who currently live in them, how they like it. Do they have any issues with it? So that's always a great idea as well. Of course, be safe when you're doing it, because this is a crazy world we live in today. So you do want to be safe if you're going to, knock on someone's door. The other thing with buying new construction or even custom build, when you're buying the land and then having a home constructed on it, you want to make sure that you walk your lot. I worked with a couple recently that was looking into land, and it was amazing. It was eye-opening, because we had one image in mind, but when we went together and we walked the lot, it was a whole totally different feel. So we realized that even though it was over an acre, where the home would have been situated, and they thought that they were going to have all of this privacy, they really didn't. They were going to be looking out their windows and seeing the backyards of other homes, of their neighbors. So you want to make sure that you walk your lot. You want to make sure that you look for things like privacy if it's important to you. Get an idea of where windows will be placed, so that way you could see what your views will be. And just the closeness to any roads, if there are going to be any easements. On that particular lot that we walked, we realized that it was going to be a long road from the main road that would lead to where your home would need to be. So then you're kind of passing through, the sides of other homes to get to yours. You also want to ask about the builder's experience, and for references, we touched on that a little bit earlier. So you do want to make sure that you ask. That's very important for custom build. Of course, if you're dealing with a big name like a Canadian, a Ryan Homes, there may be other developments, like I said, that you can go to. And definitely people who have purchased, tons of those. But when you're dealing with custom build, you definitely want to ask for references and see if you can take a peek at some of the homes that they've worked with. Don't just, I find that, and I guess this is with anything, people say a lot of things, but rarely do people check, to see if that's true. So they kind of get away with it. So you want to make sure that you actually do that checks and balances. You want to make sure that it is a reputable custom builder, someone who is familiar with the process, That's what I've learned in this business. You have to get someone that's familiar with the process, or a 9-month new home build can turn into a year or 2 years. So you want to make sure that you're dealing with someone that knows the process and knows how to navigate that town and is familiar with the township zoning, and construction rules, so that way you can have your home built sooner than later. So I'm telling you right now, navigating this whole move to South Jersey can be a challenge. And that's why you need to reach out to the Quarterman Group. We are here to help you and save you from a lot of hassle when moving to South Jersey. All we need to know is a little bit about what you're looking for, the kind of lifestyle you want to have, your budget. We can help you direct you to some areas that may be suitable to what you're looking for, and go from there. We have picked out, I'm not going to say we've picked out, but we've definitely taken many of our clients to homes and areas that they didn't even know about, and it ended up being the home and the area for them. But the only way that we can help you is if you reach out. So whether you do it by phone, text, or email, make sure you reach out to us, and we'll be sure to help you make your move to South Jersey.